Here on Reed's Beach, people describe it as if a bomb blew up, and that's a fair assessment. Take a look at this. This used to be someone's living room. We are literally standing where the living room used to be. You can see the inside of this home exposed thanks to what Hurricane Sandy did. And take a look over here. We'll go one house over and much the same destruction. Look at that debris. There's just pushed back in between these two homes. And then this house has the back exposed as well. You can see a lot of the dock here, the back patio pushed up inside, furniture, debris just thrown about inside this home. It's a total mess. And then this home has the back exposed. This right here was the patio roof. This was the back room here in this house. You see some furniture just thrown apart here. Take a look down here. This is an AC unit that we have that was ripped out and thrown apart. And then you've got all this debris here. And the thing is, some of this stuff might be from other homes. Neighbors in the area are telling me that they're finding couches, canoes, pieces of docks, all of this stuff is all over the neighborhood. They're walking around trying to find stuff that they once owned, that once sat in their living room and now sits somewhere else. So it is a total mess here. At least 7 or 8 homes here have been condemned, red tagged. People cannot go inside of them, and it's obvious why, because you really wouldn't want to. People trying to understand what happened here, trying to comprehend what happened here on Reed's Beach. I'm Kirk Youngke. Back to you.
The cleanup is just beginning.
It's hard to have everything and then it's gone.
Eric, his wife, and daughter are now moving out of this tiny community of Reed's Beach, New Jersey, and not by choice. Their rental home was destroyed. Sandy has left her mark here.
It takes a long time to settle in that it's like a bomb site here. It's like a bomb site.
You can see the red tag on the front door. About 7 or 8 houses have these red tags. They've been deemed unsafe to live in, and let me show you why. If you walk back here on this deck, we can go around the edge here and show you. Obviously, you can see how close this is to the water. Now, I'm going to back up because we don't want to get too far on this deck here. It's not exactly stable, but look at this. The unbelievable damage to this home. The entire home pretty much wiped out, and unfortunately it's a scene that plays out over and over here in Reed's Beach.
Furniture everywhere. Splintered wood, too. Oddly, this picture of a sunset on the wall didn't budge. Mother Nature has a cruel sense of humor sometimes.
Well, it's all been reduced to the same rubble, and it's still surreal.
Further north in New Jersey, Sandy did this.
You'll see these big boats, huge boats, sitting up on the land.
Boats tossed around this marina, most of them destroyed. It's a sight that is hard to believe, especially for the people who own the boats here.
Devastation. It really is.
One by one, the boats will be picked up, the homes will be rebuilt, and spirits will be put back together. Along the Jersey Shore, Kirk Youngke, ABC 15 News.
The brunt of the damage here in Atlantic City is right behind me. Take a look. This used to be the boardwalk. It got washed out, at least this portion of it. And I talked to a guy who works for the city. He tells me they just finished rebuilding this boardwalk. A lot of people here in the community devastated by that. And that boardwalk had to go somewhere. It didn't wash out to sea. In fact, it's right here, at least most of it. Look at this, piles of debris. You've got wood in here, you've got rocks, you've even got bricks over here. And on top of this, we're told that a lot of this debris made its way into the neighborhoods. And something you may not see is the beach out here is now gone, at least a good portion of it. Come with me over here because we're actually standing on what used to be the beach. All this sand washed up this way. And to give you some perspective, you've got to see this. This is a fire hydrant, probably about 2 feet high, and the sand is almost up to the top of it. That's how much sand washed up here. Pretty unbelievable when you think about it. And this is going to take at least a year or so to rebuild, if not more. The community says it's probably going to take a couple of weeks to get everything back to some sort of normalcy here in Atlantic City. I'm Kirk Youngke. Back to you. But I got to tell you, up the Jersey Shore, Ocean City and Atlantic City seen a lot of that damage. And we had a chance to stop by Atlantic City earlier today.
I never seen nothing like this before, and I hope I never see it again.
Sandy had her eye on Atlantic City and ripped things up.
It's devastating. It's really, really devastating. You know, because I live in this city and it was becoming a beautiful place to live. They was doing a lot of work here, and now this is what we have.
Shattered glass from hotel windows blown out.
power poles and trees ripped out of the ground, a few cars even buried in sand, and the boardwalk that Atlantic City is known for dismantled by this storm. And that boardwalk had to go somewhere. It went here. Take a look at this giant pile of debris. Some of the debris even made its way into neighborhoods. And today, a lot of people are out here taking a look at the damage, assessing what's left of this boardwalk. And another thing you may not realize is that the beach itself also washed away. In fact, to give you some perspective on that, take a look at this. This is a fire hydrant covered in sand. Gives you an idea of exactly how much sand, probably 1.5 to 2 feet of sand blown up here on the shore. But amid the rubble, all of the damage to people's homes.
I didn't expect it to be this bad. When I came to see this, I was like, oh my God, it was terrible.
There is some relief for people who live here.
I was worried about the house, but as long as we came out, family safe, everybody healthy.
Sandy took a toll, but Sandy is now gone. And for many, it's time to start again.
We'll be fine. You know, things happen. You can't, it's Mother Nature. Nothing you can do about it. So you do whatever you can and you get back on your feet and you keep it moving.
In good spirits, but that iconic boardwalk in Atlantic City, now some of it at least gone, and some people saying could take months, years to rebuild it. It may never be the same, is what a lot of people out there are saying. Back to you guys.
Yeah. It's interesting, a bit of it eerie, Steve. I'll tell you what, we saw a lot of cars in line to get gas. We'll talk about that in a second. We saw a lot of broken trees. We saw some amazing, incredible damage. Very unfortunate situations for a lot of people. And let's start with one of the beaches on the Jersey Shore that we stopped at today. And this video just really makes you realize how powerful this storm actually is. Homes ripped to shreds, entire homes, really. In fact, we were standing in the living rooms by basically walking up to the back of the homes. A lot of devastation and a lot of people left to clean up and figure out what they're going to do next. In fact, we talked with one of the people who live in those homes and take a listen to what they said.
I'm still in shock, really. It's nuts. I just never thought anything like this would ever happen to me. And when we walked in there that morning, yesterday morning, I was just devastated, you know, to come home and find that I have nothing really, you know, especially all our clothes just went out to the bay.
Unreal situation out there, and I'll tell you what, back here in New York, power is the issue. Millions of people still without power, and that's why we're here at Bellevue Hospital, because the power is out. They're in the process of evacuating patients. They've evacuated about half the patients in here so far. They've got National Guard in here to help carry people down the stairs. It's an extreme circumstance that they're working to sort out right now. Also, you know, utility workers say in some areas the lights may not be back on for another couple of weeks, so we could be in this for a while. In the meantime, as I mentioned, long lines all over the East Coast for gas. We saw a line as long as a mile on the highway, people trying to get off to get some gas. In our car, we have half a tank of gas. We're not quite sure how we're going to fill that up. So everyone, including us, dealing with this tough situation. Many people on foot even carrying gas cans in an effort to get gas. With so many people without power, there are some concerns about looting. One guy in Coney Island says he saw people walking out of a store with drinks, cigarettes, and television right inside his apartment window. Store owners say the looting has been sporadic. So far, more than a dozen arrests have been made, and police now boosting their presence in an effort to crack down on that. So the situation different depending on where you go. Some of it's destruction, some of it's power outages, and again, some of it's looting, unfortunately. So we're going to have some video coming up in about an hour on our 5 o'clock newscast that you have to see. An unreal situation at a marina that we stumbled upon, frankly, today, and you've got to stick around for this video. In the meantime, let's send it over to Amber Sellens, our meteorologist there, keeping an eye on the situation. So, Amber, the storm has dissipated. Is it still causing problems?
Yeah, well, we're still seeing rainfall.
ABC 15 News, the only Valley station that took you live to the East Coast for Superstorm Sandy.
The rain has been intensifying.
Just off the coast right there.
ABC 15's Kirk Yunke, the only Valley anchor braving the storm from the Jersey Shore to New York City.
This is unreal.
ABC 15 News and ABC15.com kept you connected to loved ones back east. Thanks for turning to the team you trust when the big story happens. We are ABC 15 News.